Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of our iRacing AI NASCAR Cup Series career mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we kick off the playoffs in our rookie season and you see the grid on your screen. Pause it if you need to take a longer look at it, but the main focus is we come in 3 points below the cut line here. An opportunity to win a championship in our rookie season in the Cup Series. Obviously the odds are pretty low. We have not yet won a race here in our rookie season here. As you can see, a new paint scheme. It's actually a pink, gray, black NZXT machine. It's a throwback concept for Harrison Burton, but Martin Roberg actually whipped it up also to a throwback for myself to use here in Chicago. We don't have Darlington AI obviously, but we decided to run it in place of Darlington, so a big shout out to Martin with once again another awesome paint scheme. You always see his number 41 Ryan Preece car on track here throughout this season, so beautiful paint schemes Martin whips up, as well as we were looking pretty good in practice here and there. I was a little bit concerned about how this car was going to drive on the long run, but I was overall pretty content with how it was feeling. So now focusing in on qualifying here from Chicago, and it is a night race, keep in mind as well. So we're night racing here in Chicagoland, one of my favorite times to race here. I love night racing so much in any form of motorsport now, but we head down into turn one on our qualifying attempt. You want to get this car as close to that white line as possible. I definitely could have got closer, but car was kind of a little bit tight in 1 and 2 here as we went down now this back straightaway, but we came through out of turn 4 down the front straightaway. We're going to cross the line here to complete our first and opening lap. Chase Elliott currently on pole. We go P17, so some work definitely needed to be done here now, and through turn 1 and 2 we gained a little bit of time, actually a good chunk, over a tenth of a second, tenth and a half, closing in towards 2/10, but out of turn 4 unfortunately I messed up 3 and 4 and our time didn't improve at all, and that's really going to hurt our qualifying position, as you're going to see it right there on the left side of the screen. Kyle Busch on pole, but we were down in 28th position here in qualifying, so not what I was looking for whatsoever here now as we kick off the first race of this round of 16. Very excited to get this playoff underway. Unfortunately, I didn't have a pre-show set up for this one, so we're actually going to be jumping right into the action here. And you see the stages right here. Stage 1, 15 laps. Stage 2 is one less lap than usual, 39, and then stage 3, well, the whole race at the end of lap 75. We are ready, though, to go green flag or racing here. So 15 laps to kick off this first and opening stage, and it's going to be Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott leading the field to the green flag. We are underway from Chicago, and immediately you see the field kind of going all over the place here around us. Up at the front, though, Kyle Busch had an absolutely fantastic start here. He leads the way down into turn 1. There you see Hamlin Chastain side by side there in the background. Now Kyle Larson, your regular season champion, got 15 extra playoff points for winning that regular season championship as well, keep in mind. So he is coming in with, of course, more of an advantage than anybody, but overall the playoff grid is pretty close because we didn't have anybody, run away in the regular season in terms of wins or stage wins. Kyle Busch did have more stage wins than anybody with 9, so he dominated in the stage wins aspect, but that's the only column there where somebody kind of took over, and those all happened in the first half of the season. Kyle Busch, compared to early in the season, has really struggled, and he starts on pole here tonight in Chicago. Lights just came on right there. You saw the lighting change, but Kyle Busch has already dropped down to second place behind Chase Elliott. Ryan Blaney was the one that was moving forward right now. You can see on that leaderboard on the left side of the screen here on lap 5. He was now up into P6, but then he was running down Haley. He moved up into P5, and as we came through a little bit later, lap 8, just a few laps later, he's up to second place, and he's actually in the middle of passing Chase Elliott for the lead. So our Alliance teammate Ryan Blaney, although he didn't qualify great, he's got a lot of speed in that number 12 car. See myself as well trying to move my way forward here, passing the 51 of Cody Ware, but immediately I was starting to have a little bit of a concern because I was struggling to go forward here. We're only running in like 28th, 29th place right now as we came through to start the next lap, lap 9, so we are really struggling, and as the run went on, the car was getting tighter and tighter, and we've dealt with this issue on the longer runs at mile and a halves at other points in this season as well, at certain mile and a halves, and wasn't surprised that it would happen again, but we are obviously not even going to be close to stage points here in stage 1, because now here we are making a move for 27th place on Ryan Preece with only 5 laps to go in the stage. Blaney continues to lead over now Christopher Bell, Elliott, Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Chastain, all the way through down Haley, as well as Kurt Busch, Almirola, Suarez, etc. But to lap 12, we're up in P27, behind the 23 of Bubba Wallace, behind the 47 here of Stenhouse, and we would get to the outside of the 23 down into turn 1, so this is for 26th place, but another playoff driver, of course, in front of myself right there, the 19 of Martin Truex Jr., so it's always good when you see other playoff drivers around your area, no matter where you are on the grid, to be honest. But we came through towards the final moments now of this first and opening stage, still side by side battling with Bubba Wallace in that 2311 Toyota Camry here, but we would finally get ahead of him. He would fight back there to the inside, so Bubba not going to give up, but we would have just enough momentum to get that position taken. And then as we come through towards the final lap, a bit of a mistake in 3 and 4, nearly running into the right rear of Stenhouse, kind of allowed Bubba back to my inside, but then we would clear him again. So we were drag racing with the 47 down the front straightaway. Final lap of stage number 1 underway, and as we head down into turn 1, we will clear that 47 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Ryan Blaney ahead by 0.3 of a second. Look at the run, the 47 and the 23 got on me as well in the middle of turn 1 and 2, but Ryan Blaney is cruising to a stage victory here over Chase Elliott as well as Christopher Bell. So Blaney, the first playoff driver to win a stage. The final stage points there going to Suarez and Eric Almirola. We would beat the 47 and the 23 to the start-finish line, so we gained a few spots here throughout the stage here and there, but not to a point where I was happy with. We immediately head down into the pit lane here with adjustments as well, making the car looser, but look at this, we're only seeing, the back half of this grid head into the pit lane, so not surprising. This is a pretty common strategy that we see here, but we get 4 tires put on the car and get back rolling in now. Not only have we hopefully made the car better for long run purposes, but now we also have an advantage compared to half the grid, so this could give us an opportunity to get stage points here, so I would actually end up getting a speeding penalty here at the end of the pit lane, so I would have to start stage 2 from the back of the grid. Not too concerned about that, to be honest, because we have such an advantage, but as well, this back half of the field has just as much of an advantage that I have. But Ryan Blaney will lead the field back to the green flag here. We're underway again in Chicagoland. Could this be the final NASCAR race at Chicagoland here in the iRacing career mode? We'll have to wait and see what the schedule looks like in the future. And now you see Christopher Bell trying to get ahead of Chase Elliott up there, but now Kyle Busch and Chastain, they're side by side. Kyle's brother Kurt in his final playoff run in his Cup Series career in the mix as well. He is retiring at the season's end now through 3 and 4. There you see Christopher Bell on the inside of that 31 of Justin Haley now, as Haley has the momentum on the exit of 4, and there you see everybody side by side on the apron. A bunch of cars getting down there on that apron. I'm trying to go to the outside here. I'm making it 3 wide just about, but I wasn't quite able to get to the outside of that 38 now. Austin Cindric there just in front of us, our Alliance teammate, who unfortunately missed the playoffs in the Daytona regular season finale, trying to get in with a win, just couldn't quite make it happen. You can see though we are moving our way forward here as the sun continues to go down. Now lap 21 of 75, stage 2 ends at the end of lap 39, not the end of lap 40. It's a little bit different, tiny bit different, but you can see us slicing and dicing here now to the inside of the 23 of Bubba Wallace, using that apron to my advantage, but we are absolutely flying 3 wide down into turn 1, having to back out of it a little bit earlier there, but we do get clear of the 34, and then we would hopefully get past the 14 of Briscoe, which we would, and you can see myself and Martin Truex Jr. specifically just continuing to pick off cars one by one. Playoff contenders of Byron and Bowman struggling right now. We are passing them. Joey Logano losing a spot to us. We were into the top 20 now, passing Kevin Harvick as well, and we just continue to close in on a top 10 in running position. You see myself passing the number 6 there of Brad Keselowski. An opportunity here to be the first car on fresh tires if I can pass this 19 of Martin Truex Jr., and I'll do exactly that. I clipped the outside wall there into turn 1, but it's not a big deal. So we continue closing in on a top 10 position. We're only needing to pass a few more cars to be in that top 10 up there. This Tyler Reddick Almirola area, that's the top 10. So we are only a few car lengths back, and as we come through now on the exit of turn 2, lap 26, into the top 10 we would go after passing the 8 of Tyler Reddick. This is 9th and 8th in front of us right here. So looks like we might even have a chance at a top 5. There's still 14 laps of racing to go here in the stage, and look at this, to the outside of Kyle Busch on the exit of turn 2 after passing Almirola for 9th place. drag racing down the back straightaway, but we're going to get clear into turn 3. Busch is going to run a lower line, but it's not going to be enough to help him at all here. We'll just continue to run this top right up against the wall out of turn 4, and we are going to get clear. And well, there we go, up into 8th place over Kyle Busch here. So now settling in on lap 29, you can see the ticker changes a little bit there, but we're trying to run down Kurt Busch for 7th place as he's looking at a few more stage points. Now Justin Haley having a great run today as well, but we come through to less than 10 to go at this point, and you can see we had closed up to Kurt Busch, and you can as well not only see that, but you can see how strong some of these cars are, because we weren't able to go and run down like Ryan Blaney or Denny Hamlin or Ross Chastain. All of them have really, really strong race cars here tonight in Chicago, but we are going to at least make a pass for 6th place, and I didn't know if I would have anything past this point because I was starting to feel the car getting tighter and tighter, and sure enough, come through to lap 36, and you can see that the advantage that I had seemed to start with in stage 2 had appeared to disappear. So that was a bit unfortunate, but now at this point just trying to bring the car home, because lap 38, couple laps ago on the stage, I am plowing tight all of a sudden, and Kurt Busch and Justin Haley, they're about to be back in the mix here to fight me for the position. Lap 39, final lap of the stage underway at this point here out of turn 2, chasing it up the track actually into the outside wall there on the exit of turn 2. Ryan Blaney, he's cruising to a stage victory as we head down into turn 3. We catch the outside wall again here in turn 3. Really, really tight handling car at this point. Blaney wins the stage. Bell, Elliott through Chastain as well towards the top 5 with Denny Hamlin, but unfortunately I got passed by Haley. We held off Kurt Busch. You see the rest of the field crossing the line, but we still at least did get some stage points, so I can't complain too much. But there's your dominant driver so far, Ryan Blaney, who leads everybody into the pit lane a few moments later. So we do still get some stage points. I was happy about that. 4 tires, as well as a few more adjustments to try and free up the car a little bit more, because, well, we were plowing tight again at the end of that stage. And actually, we had a flawless pit stop. As you can see, we are going to actually be alongside the 20 of Christopher Bell. We're going to be the 3rd car out of the pit lane. Martin Truex Jr. right there with us with a fantastic pit stop here. So we are going to be lining up on row number 2 on the inside behind our Alliance teammate of Ryan Blaney. Obviously, I don't think we have a car capable of winning this race currently, but maybe those adjustments that we made have changed something. There is the 12 stacks right up, but we're going to get back underway, and we're right on the back bumper of that number 12 of Blaney. Already him and I clear for P1, P2. Landon Castle in the 77 is actually up here. I'm going to assume he took 2 tires. I'm not 100% sure, but here we are following this 12 through 1 out of turn 2. This is immediately where you see a difference between our 2 cars. Even though I've freed up the car a lot, it's still a little bit tight, and Blaney was able to keep it pinned through the exit of 2 versus myself, who actually had to lift on the exit of turn 2 still. So Blaney definitely has the better car, but immediately the first thing I'm as well trying to do is save my tires, because I have noticed how this car is going to drive, and I know it's still going to tighten up no matter how much I loosen it up. It's going to continue to still tighten up as this run goes on here in Chicago. So I really focused on saving my tires in the first half of this 3rd and final stage, because we do not have to make a pit stop to make it to the end of this race. So odds are everybody will be staying out here, depending on, of course, what happens with potential cautions. But it's been, so far, a very calm race here. Now, Christopher Bell up my inside, and this is an example here of just saving tires. I'm not going to fight this 20 Rheem Toyota Camry too hard here, as we still have 30 laps of racing to go. Instead, I just settle in behind the 20 of Christopher Bell. Chase Elliott just behind, and I was comfortable falling down to 3rd, 4th, 5th maybe, but I didn't want to fall any lower than that. So I was still trying to hang on here to 3rd place. Kurt Busch was now up into 4th as we started lap 47 here, and as you can see a little bit later, down into turn 3, he goes up my inside and passes me. Here goes Martin Truex Jr. as well, trying to make a pass, but I was fighting Truex a little bit here, trying to stay ahead of him. So we jumped down into 4th place here. Now Elliott actually got up to the spot behind us on lap 49, but the caution is actually going to fly here now for a potential accident, maybe on the back straightaway, it looks like. We'll take a look as to what's going on back there, and you see it. It's the 31 of Justin Haley, Kyle Larson, Alex Bowman. They're all stacked up as well in that mess. Another playoff driver of Chris Buescher. So playoff drivers all in the frame here. What exactly has happened? Well, you see, the 31 of Haley, runs the 10 of Almirola completely out of room, it looked like, from that site right there. And then, of course, he causes a logjam. Kyle Larson somehow got no damage out of it, but another view there. That was all on the 31 of Justin Haley. You see the 43, the 14, and the 6 as well. All got a pretty good piece of it there. So caution's out, and you can see the back part of the grid, including the drivers as part of that caution, all down into the pit lane. But, you know, the first 3/4 of the grid all stayed out. So we're now P4 for the restart, row number 2, outside behind Christopher Bell. So do we, you know, help the 20 or not? We want our teammate Ryan Blaney to, of course, win if possible, but I want to win way more than Ryan Blaney does, I think, because I'm looking for my first career win, and as well a win today for a playoff driver. Well, locks them into the round of 12, no longer having to worry about the next 2 races here. But here we are on the outside of that 45 of Kurt Busch here, down the back straightaway. You can see everybody fanning out here on this restart, already getting a little bit spread out, actually. Some of these guys are 3 wide in the background as well. Kozlowski is still seeing the pit lane. Christopher Bell making a move potentially up the inside of Ryan Blaney. I'm alongside Kurt Busch, but easily clear with the momentum. Christopher Bell to the inside, looking for his second win of the season. He is. He won at Indianapolis Road Course a while back here. Down into turn 1, I am all of a sudden finding myself in the mix of things here, and I was finding it very as well difficult to lift and save my tires when all of a sudden I'm greeted with an opportunity to go for the race lead there. Caught the outside wall on the exit of turn 2. Blaney clear of the 20, jumps down in front of him onto the outside in turn 3, using the lane that I'm the most comfortable in, but it didn't quite work, and we were back down to 3rd as Brad Kozlowski, with 21 laps to go, exits the pit lane and plants himself directly in front of the leader of Ryan Blaney, and allows the 20 of Christopher Bell to go around the outside and clear the 12, and I'm even going to clear Ryan Blaney as well. So suddenly we're up into 2nd place. Tides have changed awfully quick. Ryan Blaney would find a way to navigate around that 6 car very quickly, and then he would run me down just as quickly and pass me into turn 3. So just as quick as we made the pass on Blaney, he makes it back on us. And as we come through to 19 to go, you see Blaney now trying to make a pass around the outside of the 20 of Christopher Bell. Brad Kozlowski, by the way, was still in the mix here with us. He was kind of hovering around this area, didn't really want to leave. And as we come through to 17 to go, you see him in the background battling in our mirror with with Kurt Busch. Actually, contact with Kurt Busch. He puts the 45 into the outside wall, and the caution's going to come out a huge hit to the outside. While that might have knocked the toe link out of the 45, you see him up the track. NASCAR throws the caution. The damage is done to a playoff contender, and Brad Kozlowski, who's multiple laps down, has interfered with a playoff driver, not on purpose, but certainly doesn't change the fact that he might have just taken Kurt Busch's chances of a championship in his final season of Cup Series competition away here now, as you see through the grid as we're ready to go green for yet another restart in stage 3. It's been a completely different stage. Kyle Larson as well, look at that, he's been really struggling today. Now less than 20 laps of racing to go. Ryan Blaney goes. We follow through with them. It's 13 laps to go over Christopher Bell. Now in 2nd place we go. Daniel Suarez as well has found himself up in the mix. He's been winless all season. He missed the playoffs. One of the first drivers to miss it in terms of the points gap. Now Larson's going to get turned, and so is the 41 of Priest, and a bunch of drivers are going to be involved. A big crash there. The 31 of Haley, a huge hit there. The 78 piles in. Yaley's around. Playoff contenders of Larson as well as Chris Buescher have been completely wiped out, and you saw it happen live. JJ Yaley right here, watch this, simply he turns left into Larson and takes him out. I mean, what are you doing there in that Rick Ware Racing machine? And big hits there in front of Kyle Larson. Watch the 17. A big hit there. The 31 gets slammed into the wall, and then he gets nailed on the driver's side. That's a massive impact there for Justin Haley. And watch this from the 78's POV. He gets turned right here. My goodness, that's a huge shot to that left side of that 31 car. One more look for you guys there. What an unfortunate accident caused by Rick Ware Racing, and it has been a caution-filled 3rd and final stage here from Chicago. I was now lining up on the front row for the first time here, and it's going to be a restart with 8 laps of racing to go in Chicago. So all of a sudden, with this crash fest in stage 3, we have a chance to get our first Cup Series win right here. We're side by side with Ryan Blaney for the restart. Blaney controls the restart. I nearly jumped it. but we get back underway, but it's 8 laps to go. I said, you know what? I'm getting the elbows out. It's full send to the end. Whatever happens, happens. If the car starts plowing, well, it is what it is. To the outside of this 12 through 1 and 2. Can we keep him down to get right there on his right rear quarter panel on the exit of turn 2? And here we are side by side, and not only side by side, clear of Ryan Blaney. Down into turn 3, we take the lead in the playoffs. Down into turn 3, though, we're going to try and run away, get down into that inside line, and just hope that there's enough car there to try and hang on for 7 more laps of racing. But we're going to lead our first playoff lap of our Cup Series career, looking to punch our ticket into the round of 12 with our first career win. Blaney to the back of myself, down into turn 3, 7 laps to go, and immediately my hopes diminish because it turns out I didn't have as much as I thought I did. Blaney easily clears me. I ran the outside to try and build that momentum up on the exit of turn 4, but it just nothing was working. You see Bell going by on the outside, and just like that, in a flip of a switch, I was getting swarmed by cars that had more speed than me. Daniel Suarez passes us. Chase Elliott to my inside, 3 wide behind between Chastain, Kyle Busch, as well as Tyler Reddick, and they were all faster than me at this point here. And you can see Chastain at my inside now, coming to 3 laps to go. Now the question is, are we even going to finish inside the top 10? I didn't even know if we would be able to hang on to a top 10 position at this point with how things were looking. But down into turn 1, Chastain gets clear. Here comes the 8 of Tyler Reddick on the exit of turn 4, coming to 2 to go, now going to pass me as well. This is going to put us down another spot into 7th place over Kyle Busch in the M&M's machine, but he would get overtaken by his teammate Denny Hamlin as we approach the final lap. Down to 8th place we go. White flag in the air. Ryan Blaney has dominated this race. He's been shuffled back at times, but he's still been able to find a way to the front, and there's no competition for him whatsoever. Kyle Busch to my inside, Byron there right behind us, and now it's going to be a drag race with Kyle Busch to the end of this final lap. We're down to 9th place, just trying to hold on to the top 10 is all I was trying to do at this point. Down into turn 3 for the final time. Ryan Blaney out of turn 4 will win in Richmond and punch his ticket into the round of 12, but Kyle Busch is going to get us at the line. It's 9th place in Chicago. Honestly, if you compare that to how we started this race in stage 1 with how bad the car was, I'm not going to complain. We were, well, quite simply way off in that first and opening stage, so I'm pretty happy that we were able to get a nice run out of it here now. But the playoff grid, how does this affect the playoff grid? Obviously, Blaney has advanced, but you can see Elliott 55 to the good. Larson's only less than 30 points to the good, but we are 9 points above the cut line as Bowman, Harvick, Kurt Busch, and Buescher are all on the outside looking in. I completely forgot to get the flight simulator for the ending of this video, so I said it was going to be the playoffs. Well, next episode now. But that's going to wrap it up for us. The first race of the playoffs is down, 9 to go. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and have yourselves a great day.